guys! I recently finished reading this book. It is called Strategize to Win, The New Way to Start Out, Step Up, or Start Over in Your Career by Carla A. Harris. Carla was one of the speakers at Massachusetts Conference for Women in 2016, which I attended. And right after hearing her speak, I ran over to the bookstore and picked up a copy of her book. She was so charismatic, it drew me in, and I just had to know what advice does she have to offer, because I want to get to where she is today. To be honest, I thought I would pass the book along to a friend after I finished, because that's just normally what I do. But I love this book so much, I'm keeping it in my library. If you want to read the rest of my feelings on this book, you can head over to my blog at ajrestlessfeet.wordpress.com, where I am one half of the blogging team there. I will include the link in the description box below, as well as a link to Carla's website. There were many moments in this book where I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear right now. So I wanted to read two excerpts for you guys. So one of the things that has always been on my mind is salary negotiation. You know, how do you make sure you get a fair deal, that is what you want, that the employer isn't trying to lowball you or anything. And let's say you move to a different company and you don't want to disclose your compensation. Are you able to do that without them raising any eyebrows? Carla has a case study, and she also provides a sample script at the end. Here we go. So Linda began with her current employer 12 years ago in a very junior position. It was her first corporate job, and she worked very hard over the 12 years at the firm and has been given increasing responsibilities. But her pay increases have been comparatively modest, even though she now holds a very senior position in the purchasing department. Right now, Linda is being recruited for a head of purchasing position at another company in a completely different industry. The prospective new employer asked what her current salary was, and he was astounded to learn it was 50% lower than what he had expected. As a result, in the interview, he started to question whether Linda was as good as she seemed to be. He could not reconcile how someone so talented could be paid at such a low level. Linda's failure to understand market rate and her value, and to negotiate for that rate as her experience and responsibilities grew, was threatening her ability to find another position, or, at a minimum, to get compensated fairly in the new role. Her current level of compensation cast a shadow of doubt on her judgment in the prospective employer's eyes. How could Linda have better answered the interviewer's questions about her compensation? She could have said, I do not think my current compensation level is as relevant to our conversation about this new role. When I started with my current employer, I was very junior and I accepted a role and a compensation level that was consistent with my experience. As I learned on the job, I rose up through the ranks. Now, as a more experienced professional, I would expect that in my next role, my compensation will be commensurate with how the market currently values the skills and experience required for the job. This answer would communicate to the interviewer that perhaps she did not negotiate well as she began her career, but that she now understands her value and the value of the new position and has some compensation expectations about the job. Guys, I just want to say, reading excerpts is so tiring. I did not realize how hard it is to enunciate, and not speak too fast, which is my problem. Carly including that little excerpt, it was like, oh my gosh, she knows what I'm thinking about. She knows my concerns, and she's giving me an idea, an example of how I should go about answering that question. She talks about so many different topics. She talks about the essential skills and exposure one must get in any industry, and she calls them strategic skills, and there's 4 of them. First one is presentation skills. The second one, management skills. Third one, analytical skills, and the 4th one is selling skills. This section is a couple pages long, so I'm going to do my best to summarize it. Case study 1. Her name is Lizzie. She's graduating with an MBA and she wants to find a job in brand management at a major consumer products company. But given the economic environment, she could not get an interview. None of the brand management companies were recruiting at her school that year. Lizzie knew in order to get the position she wanted, she would need to know how to market a product, position it competitively in the marketplace, and make it attractive to customers. But with no success finding a position in her desired field, Lizzie began to look for other opportunities. She took a marketing position with a nonprofit. She realized the role would give her the opportunity to get a key strategic role, how to market and sell an idea to the marketplace. When she joined, the staff was really small, and one of her colleagues had an extensive background in product marketing. So during her time at this nonprofit, she worked very closely with that person to learn as much from her colleague. In less than a year, she not only gained 2 of the key strategic skills, but also learned some of the fundamental skills she would have had she worked in a brand management program at a large consumer products company. 2 years later, the economy had improved, and Lizzie landed an interview at a global consumer products company. In their interview, she was able to say, I'm freaking awesome. I joined a nonprofit when it was at level 1, but I brought it to level 10. I learned all these marketing skills that would be really helpful in this role. So she was offered the position and accepted her dream job, earning a spot in the brand management program for the global company. The second case study is a dude named Sam. Sam aspired to be a sales trader at a large investment bank, but he graduated in 2008 at a time when, due to the financial crisis, most investment banks were not hiring junior traders. Sam understood that among the key skills a trading desk manager would find attractive were a passion for the markets and strong selling skills. So he accepted a job in sales at a large pharmaceutical company that had a reputation for having one of the strongest sales training programs in the industry. He excelled, quickly becoming an expert in their biopharmaceutical products. Sam learned that the fundamentals of effective selling were understanding the customer's needs, knowing the key product facets that were most valued by the company, how to anticipate the points of debate around the product, and how to present his sales argument in a logical, cogent, and compelling way. Sam also worked at building relationships with people in the company's research area and learned about early-stage drug products, the FDA approval process, and what large pharmaceutical companies looked for when developing or acquiring early-stage compounds. After 3 years in this role, Sam was able to sell his sales experience, training, and knowledge of a pharmaceutical industry to a large broker-dealer who hired him as a specialized healthcare sales trader. The key point to understand when you are earlier in your career is that focusing on the content of a job by gaining a valuable skill set is more important than the particular position. No matter where you work, you can acquire and develop strategic skills. You can work in layout at a magazine where you can learn management skills as the team, month after month, drives toward a deadline to get the magazine produced and distributed. You can take a job as a telemarketer and learn how to sell. You can take a job in the admissions office of a university or private school and acquire presentation skills as you go out to present the school to prospective students and their parents. If you can't find a chance to focus on desired strategic skills where you work, look for opportunities in your volunteer activities, at your church, or even with your friends. Practice presenting an argument to them and get their feedback to help you hone your presentation skills. Lead the fundraiser at your church, or develop your marketing and sales skills. Or run the next clothing drive at your school, which will give you management skills. Those were just small excerpts out of the entire book, and those excerpts just kind of made me feel reassured. She made me feel better. She made me feel less anxious. After reading this book, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I'm ready. So definitely head on over to my blog and read the rest of my book review. I think I'm just gonna have some YouTube videos where I'm just reading off a script to help practice enunciating and slowing down, yada yada yada. The link to my book review is down below. Check it out.
My name is
Juliet!
with a nugget of twat.